Okay, I reshare my screen. Yes. So this webinar is about a free reskilling program for women to enter the field of IT for women living in Finland. But first, I want to introduce you very briefly Mothers in Business. Mothers in Business is a non-profit organization that was founded in 2014, and its aim to offer career-oriented mothers opportunities for networking and peer support and development of skills through webinars, company visits, training sessions, workshops, and mingles. And also to promote the equality and family friendliness in the Finnish working life and spread this awareness to the Finnish employers. Currently, Mothers in Business have 4,500 members divided into local branches throughout Finland. And you can check our website if you are interested in volunteering, or if you're interested to become a member, because once you're a member, you can join to member exclusive events, and we have a very reasonable yearly fee, so member fee. Then I want to talk about Mothers in Business International. So this is the most freshest branch in Mothers in Business. It was founded as a pilot project by the volunteers in 2020. And we are really the active volunteers are really the heart of Mothers in Business International, because we decide, we plan, and we organize all the volunteering events. In that case, we have all the freedom we need. And then the aim of this international project is to create more content and activities for the international mothers who are working or living, or who are intending to work in Finland. And we organize networking, peer support, events such as mingles and workshops and webinars such as like this, and company visits as well. Now I would like to introduce you our speakers, but I would also like to invite them to talk about themselves very briefly. First, Sirja Sulakatko is the head of this program, Work in Tech program in Finland. So, Sirja, could you tell us about yourself a little bit?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Happy to be here, and so happy that we have an opportunity to provide Finnish or women residing in Finland an opportunity to start their careers in tech. I am 37. I live in Estonia, but I have very strong ties with Finland. It's my second time to study in a Finnish university. So I'm at the moment doing a doctoral degree at Turku School of Economics. I have 3 kids, and I love to provide, my passion is to provide these types of learning opportunities to women in Estonia and in Finland. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for organizing this program, and I'm really happy to collaborate
And thank you, Hunter, for inviting us here.
Yeah, of course. Yes, my pleasure. And then Benita Teslund was a previous student of this program. I think she has got her certificate very recently. So could you introduce yourself, Benita?
Hello, everyone. Yes, so I'm Benita Teslund, and I took part in this program this spring and summer, and I got my certificate last Friday, which I am very happy about it. And currently I'm working in the field of sales and marketing, but I will continue to talk about myself during my presentation.
Yeah, congratulations on your certificate, by
Thank
the way.
you.
So we will start now first with serious presentation. But if you have any questions while she's talking, you could write them to the chat, and we will have a Q&A session at the end. Right now we are planning to have it like 30 minutes, maybe 40, it depends how much time we have. But you can write your questions, or you can also raise your hand and tell it during the Q&A session, ask it during the Q&A session. So, okay, so I will stop the share, and then I'm going to open serious slides.
Or maybe it's better if I share. Is it easier? Because then I can press
Yeah,
flip
sure.
forward.
Sure, of course, yes.
Yeah, maybe it's this way it's easier.
Yeah.
Okay, I will be sharing my screen. 1 second. I will put the presentation there as well in a second. And, now I would like to ask, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so let's continue from my side. So hello again. So now I'm going to introduce you a bit the Working Tech program. After my presentation, Pinita will also share you her experience for being a learner in this program, but now you will hear a bit of our view, being the organizers. So first of all, why have we initiated this program, or why are we running it? So the reason being that especially after COVID-19 hit, many organizations had to start rethinking their way of operations and had to reinvent the way how their people collaborate with each other, how they are providing their services to the customers, and so forth, so forth. So what was seen was that actually many organizations started to need more IT support specialists to support their own employees, but also to support the customers. And on the other hand, the problem that we see is that in technology field in general, there is a lower representation of women, which could be much higher. And so Google.org, together with Inco Academy, initiated the whole program, which is actually EU-wide. In the Working Tech program, there are altogether 22 countries by today, and within this program, we are training altogether about 20,000 learners each year. So Smart Work Academy, so us, we are the partners who implement the program in Estonia. We have implemented there for 2 years now and trained about 500 learners. And this year, we also got an opportunity to implement the program in Finland. And the first cohort of learners started in March. And we have at the moment about 70 learners. But we have an opportunity to provide more learning spots to the autumn cohort, about 200. So at the moment, our applications is open. And for you to have a better overview of whether this program could be something for you, I'm going to explain you a bit what you could expect from the program as a learner. So I already told you from the broad perspective that the target group of the program are women residing in Finland, but more specifically, we are aiming women who are at a more vulnerable situation in their career life. So either they have recently lost their jobs or find it difficult to find a job in their current field. So by that, we also accept, for example, international people who have moved to Finland, and for them it's might be difficult to find a job in their current profession because of language barriers. We are also accepting women who have been at home with children, and women who work in general in a lower paid industries like services, tourism, etc. As I said, we have trained up to 500 women now, but what is more important than the number that we have trained is that we have a very high success rate. More than 85% of the working tech program learners either start an internship, job, or further IT studies during or shortly after the program. So our main goal is not to just train you, but help you to get more money in your pockets. And even if for some reason for you, it might be too early to go to an internship or start a junior level job in IT, because, for example, you're staying still at home with kids and they're too small to return to the work field, then we help you to figure out what could be your future career in IT, what would you really love to do. And during the program, you can choose the follow-up program that you would like to join, and we will accept that as an internship or further studies. And just also to let you know that even if you would, for example, even today feel that IT support perhaps is not really the thing that will motivate you or where you would like to see yourself working, and this is also okay. We see IT support as a great, let's say, entry level job with very low barriers to get the job. But also the whole program of IT support specialization gives you a very good broad overview of IT in general, what it is, how it is operating in the organizations, what its role, etc., etc. So if you come from a non-tech field, it's also a very good course that gives you the basic vocabulary and fundamental understanding of what IT is. And then it's easier from there already to specialize in some other field. If you're, for example, more interested in data analytics or testing or programming, it will be more easier for you to continue your studies in these fields. So in general, if you would be accepted to our program, then what you would get from us is that you will get an access to an IT support specialization course, which is in Coursera. It's about 153 independent learning hours. It consists of different reading materials, videos, tests, etc. And you have until the end of this year to finish these materials on your own. Approximately, it takes about 5 months to go through the program if the person is working and has, for example, small kids to take care of at the same time. But we have also seen that many learners have actually finished it within 2 months, for example, if they can plan more time into studying. Then on top of that, we will provide webinars. So we have this general rhythm that after every about 3 weeks, we have webinars to help you to boost your soft skills that are needed in the new IT industry or for making a career shift. In the beginning, we will start with topics that are intended to help you to study, because sometimes you haven't been studying for a while. Maybe it was 10 years back or 20 years back when you got your degree from the university. So it might also be a bit of a challenge to start learning again. So for example, one of our first webinars is how to learn effectively. We will also give you tools for effective time management, which is a key to study independently, and so forth. And as we prolong, the focus will be shifted more on career opportunities in IT. Analyzing what would you like to do in the future, to the topics like how to create a strong CV, how to uplift your LinkedIn profile, and how to be successful at the job interview. In autumn, we have also planned to invite many professionals who currently work in the IT field in different roles to come and speak about their jobs. And we just recently had a big career day for the Working Tech Spring cohort, where we had many professionals from companies in Finland talking about their jobs and also opportunities to get jobs in their companies, for example. So we try to support you as much as we can. Of course, as I said, you have to finish the IT support specialization and Coursera independently. So this is something that we cannot do for you, but we will be the cheerleaders, and we will be there. If you have rough times, you can turn to us. If you have successes, we will be there cheerleading you. So we will be your support group. We will also organize learners into smaller groups of 5 or 6 learners, because the program will be fully virtual, so it will be hard for you to network with all of the 150 learners in the program. So for you to get to know some people better, and also perhaps organize some co-learning sessions, or to, just have somebody to talk to who is in the same position with you, you will get 5 to 6 peers that you can, get to know better. The program will end with internship or additional learning. And again, it will be your responsibility to find either an internship or additional learning opportunities. But as I said, we will be supporting you along the way to figure these things out. And I think that this is it. I have covered this slide. So I've also brought out learning outcomes after the IT support specialization, what you can do. So for example, you can implement secure use of devices, you can manage system processes, work with system logs, create backup, restore data, etc., etc. So basically there are 2 avenues in the IT support for you where you can start working. So you can either start working in a company supporting its internal customers, meaning that their employees, or maybe if you start working at the university, you will be supporting either the lecturers or the students, or there are many, many companies who are providing IT, who are selling services, and together with that, they also provide support to the customers. So, for example, telco companies, so they provide support to their business customers, but also to the consumers. And there are, for example, even Kona, the elevators, have their support services to their business customers. So this is the second stream where you can start working. But we have seen actually many, many other ways how you can implement what you have been studying. So people have started working in some organizations, AI teams. People have started working in universities, helping to figure lecturers out how to use modern tools in their teaching. People have started to become lecturers. People have started to work in sales in IT, so selling services, but now having that broad overview of the IT topics, it's easier, to be a salesperson in the IT field. So actually there are many, many ways and many career avenues, even just by graduating the IT support specialization. There are 5 topics that you would have to finish at Coursera. So the first is technical support fundamentals. Then the second is the bits and bytes of computer networking, operating system, and you. I'm not going to read out everything that you will be learning there, but I just wanted to show you these 2 slides to show you that this is not just something, superficial. Some learners who have come to a program have been said that they were afraid that it would be a superficial course, and then they are surprised that they actually get really practical skills and know-how from the course. And Coursera has also tried to develop the course so that it's not only theoretical. Of course, it's very hard to teach something practically online. So there are some virtual, for example, tasks where you have to put together a virtual computer And surely it will not replace, the actual experience that you would get if you would be putting together physically a computer. But just to tell you that they have tried to make the course as practical as possible, but it doesn't also stop you to be creative. So I know that some learners have actually, taken their computer and just, opened it up and took it to pieces and put together. So you can be very creative about it and find different opportunities how to support your learning depending on what actually interests you more. Is it hardware? Is it software? Is it networks? Is it cybersecurity? So, don't worry about it. In the beginning, you probably don't know that, but this is what this course is meant or why we are organizing it, so that you can, during this time, figure out what would be the field or area that would interest you more to continue studying or working. So as I already said, internship, we expect that it would last at least 2 weeks. I know it's very little, but some of our learners sometimes work full time, and for them it's very hard to take a longer internship. But of course, if your dream is to make a real career change, then I would expect that the internship would last at least 2 months, but preferably 4 to 6 months. The internship itself can be done also next year, but what we need to know by the end of January, what will you be doing? So you don't need to have a contract and show it to us. It's just sufficient that you tell me that, Sirja, hey, I agreed with this company that I will be doing an internship there, and my role or responsibilities will be these. So I'm not going to start checking it or controlling it. It's your life, it's your career. So we are trusting that you will do the best choices that are supporting your career path. But of course, we suggest making it in certain companies, for example, or, some people have asked whether, doing some research in an HR department in some IT company is also considered to be an internship. Then we're like, okay, depends, what would you really like to do in the future? Sometimes we say that we think that you could do better or find a better internship position. So, but we intervene very little, only when we see the need. And here I've also listed some suitable roles. For example, IT support specialist, service manager, system administrator, system analyst, etc. Depending on your background, there are many opportunities to actually combine what you did earlier with these new IT skills. So we have also seen many people, for example, who have been in production, like product managers. They have started to work in an IT company as a product owner. So a very actually, let's say, mid-level specialist job. So changing your career and taking this course also doesn't always necessarily mean that you have to start from the, from the first level, but you might also find ways of how to combine what you have been doing so far. And then already, continue working on the same level, but just in the different field. And just some data and feedback from our current learners. So we have currently 80 participants in the spring cohort. We have 11 out of those 80 have already chosen an additional course that they would like to study after finishing the IT support specialization course. 3 have already finished it. Actually, today I checked, we have already 5 who have finished the course in Coursera. So what you will get after finishing the e-course in Coursera, you will get the certificate from Coursera. And then if you also attend the webinars and you do an internship or choose additional course, we will give you an additional certificate from Smart Work Association that would show that on top of these e-course, you also did this and that. So this certificate is a bit stronger because it shows that you did even more. You know, you didn't just finish with the e-course, but you also did an internship. And we see that many organizations are looking for, even for the junior positions, they are looking for people who have at least some experience. So internship is a good way to show them that you already have some experience. 2 people who already have found internship positions, and 1 was promoted at her current job. She actually said that our program didn't help that much because it was very early in our program, but as her new tasks are very much IT related, then she sees a lot of practical value from what she is learning at the moment in our program, because it helps her to better cope with the new challenges from the new role. And I have also just added a couple of testimonials from our learners, but we have those on the website as well. And I think that the insights that you will hear from Benita will be something that is more beneficial than just reading these 2 arrows or 3 arrows. But yeah, shortly about the application process as well. So to apply, you should go and fill in the online form in Google. You can find that from our website. We are sharing that link in the chat. What you would need to provide us is your contact details, link to your profile in LinkedIn. If you don't have it yet, we very much suggest doing it, because a lot of IT related jobs are to be found in LinkedIn. And a motivation letter where you explain your motivation and drive to start working in IT. As I said, we have 100 to 200 spots. So that means that if you explained to us in a very convincing way that why you want to come to this program, and also show us why you are suitable for this program, and also if you, for example, give us examples of how you have, wait 1 second. One second, I will be back.
This is how it is to be a mother. You get interrupted. Maybe
Yeah.
in the
Maybe, Hande, we can just remind that we noticed there's already a question in the chat, and then they will be answered later during the question and answer.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
this is, working at home, so
no worries.
life of a mom, as
Of
you
course, yeah.
probably know who have kids.
Yes.
So as I said, you most probably will get the spot in the course, but what we would like to learn from your application is how really, there is a good match between what you want to do in your future career and, how this program can help you to do that. And if you have some independent learning experiences from the past, it would be very good if you highlight those. But if you don't, it's also fine. But just that, provide us as much information that is possible so that we can get to know you a bit better. And if there's a good fit, then you will get that spot. So you shouldn't worry about that. There are only 150 and so forth. So we try to accept all the candidates who have a good fit with what we are offering. And so criteria, as I said, what we are looking for from your motivation letter and application is a strong desire to either to start working in IT or to make some kind of career progress that you cannot do, or you see that these IT skills will help you a lot in that. So ability to dedicate approximately 5 to 7 hours per week for studies, basic IT skills, so searching from the web, etc., etc. So we don't expect you having any prior background in IT, and a level of English that enables studying and communicating in English, because the course in Coursera is in English, and also our communication is everything is in English. And yeah, that's it. There's an application. There's also a website here. We will also put it in this chat, as I said. And if you have any questions that we cannot answer during this session, or you come up with a question after a session, then you're more than welcome to just write me a message, Sirja@smartwork.de. So that's it from my side at the moment. I will stop sharing, and I think it's good time to give floor to Benita.
Yeah, thank you, Sirja. This was really, really interesting, and I think it's a great opportunity for especially women who are interested in working in IT and they want to start from somewhere. So I think it's a great start. Benita, should I share your slides, or do you want to share your
You
your
can do
slide?
it for me.
Okay,
If
okay.
I can just tell
Yeah.
you when to change the slide.
Yeah.
So.
Sure. Okay, I think you see the.
Yes, thank you.
Do you see now? No.
I see at least myself.
Yeah, it's okay, Hande.
You see? Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm Benita Teslund, and I am going to talk about from a student perspective. I applied for this program this spring and got in. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. So if you click on next.
Sorry, I just need to reshare it.
Or it's a PDF, so maybe you just slide down or click. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I am also a mother of 2 children. I'm actually a member of Mothers in Business also. And it was really nice that Sirja asked me if I could present or talk about this program here. I'm 40 years old and I'm living in Espoo. And why I highlighted this, that I'm a mother of 2 children and 40 years old, is that I don't think it's never too late or like a bad time to start studying, at least in this kind of like really flexible course. I don't have any technical background. I have a Bachelor of Business Administration degree from Laurea Applied Sciences, and then I have like kind of a degree in graphic design. And I've been working like my entire work career in sales and marketing mostly. At the moment, I'm working in a cosmetics company, so non-technical positions. But actually, it's not true, because in marketing, you use, at least in digital marketing, you use quite a lot of information technology, and that is why I got interested about it. Or even before, like when I got my first child, I thought that what do I want to study? And then I thought that, well, IT would be really, really interesting, but somehow I was scared of it, and I didn't have anyone to like back up. So I chose marketing, which has led me to interesting tasks and like got me far. But now I think it's time to make a change. And I was home recently with my youngest child for 2 years. And during this time, I started really to think that, what do I really want to do in the future? Because I have like at least 25 years still of work life ahead of me. So I want to maybe I do want to do something different. So therefore, I started to like follow actually on social media different kind of like accounts about information technology, and I got this ad about this program, and I got interested and applied. I did the motivation letter, and first I thought that like can I even write a motivation letter? But I just wrote like a little bit of my background, and then what interests me in IT, and like I wrote that I already knew some because I had taken some free courses online, and then I got in, and I started in April. So you can put forward, please. Well, I already said some reasons why I wanted to study, but studying is also actually really fun, I think. At least for me personally, because well, studying is really natural for me. I'm like every year I'm studying something, and it doesn't have to mean that you're studying for like a certificate, for example, but like learn some new skills or take a part in some kind of webinars or some online courses. I'm a very technical minded person, so I guess that's one reason why IT has always like played some kind of role. And even in my marketing and sales jobs, like I always have been the person who is like doing the most like technical parts, which I really like. And I'm analytical and I experiment a lot. I learned how to code by myself, not like any big coding, but some small things. And I started to do like these campaign and landing pages for my work. And that was like maybe the first touch point for IT for me. And then like to develop my skills. And I wanted to be like on some kind of same level as the other graduates who graduate from an actual like IT bachelor degree or something like that. Because I wanted to like show or have some kind of like black on white that what I know, like a certificate, like in this program you get. And then during the 2 years I was home, stay-home mom, I really like knew that I want to change my career because IT has always interested me, and then I just realized that now I have to do something about it, because I mean it's not coming to you unless you're doing anything about it yourself. Maybe we can go on the next slide. And here I've written like some kind of expectations, what I thought this program would have, because I've always had some insecurity or like, I don't know, some kind of like doubts that can I really work on the IT field and or can I study or learn these kind of things. But I did expect, because it's Google's or Coursera's course, that it must be some kind of like really good quality, because they are both really appreciated and with like the recent and valued information. And then I did expect that you can do it on your individual pace. You can study on your own time and whenever it suits you in your 24 hours in a day. And I thought it's going to be like super challenging, and like I sincerely thought that it's going to be difficult for me, because I didn't have this kind of knowledge before about information technology, or that's what I thought. When I took the course, I realized that, well, I knew already something, and if you're working with computers, which most of us are, or with mobile phones or anything, I mean, you're already like, you know already something. And during this course, I realized I got this like really like, aha, that's why, like moments, which was really fun, because then you know why some things happen or why some things go in a certain way. So it was really fun. We can go to the next slide, please. So the challenges I was facing during this program, most of them are like are because of the time management. I have 2 children, I have 2 dogs, I have a full-time job. Children have hobbies, and well, my youngest child is still not sleeping the nights through and waking so many times that like the time management is was for me the biggest issue. And we had at least one or maybe two webinars included in this program, which were about time management. I got really big tips and help from there, like how to time like the studying itself, or how to like make how to remove myself from my current life to the study mode, like go to some other different place. I used the library, for example. I went there to study and make like with my family, make some kind of agreements that during this time it's now only for me, and then please don't come and disturb me. So I mean, if this is the biggest challenge, then anyone can do this program, I can say. And then maybe the technical terms, the vocabulary, as you can probably hear, English is not like my strongest language. So maybe that was like not like of course, I mean, I understood everything, but there were so many new terms and a lot of abbreviations that, I mean, I still can't remember everything. But then I realized that I don't have to remember everything, because usually when you learn something new, they stick to your head when you are working with them. So if you would work with like some kind of networks or something like that, then the terminology would stick to you and you would immediately know what it would mean. So you don't have to know everything. You will learn it when you do it and when you are working with it. And then one challenge, of course, which probably everybody has in anything when you start to do something new, especially in studying, is motivation. Where to find the motivation during challenging times, which at least mothers most likely have, or parents, not only mothers, but parents have at some point with small children, or like with work, for example, if you're working full time, when you're really tired. But I just knew that this is now something only for me, and I really wanted to own it and like do it for me. Was not for anyone else. It was only for me and for my career change, which is now my biggest motivation. So I got past that challenge also. Next one, please. Well, the easy parts, I mean, this program is super flexible. You can really do it like anywhere or anytime. It just depends on your own time management, I would say. Of course, you have to do it in that certain like time period, but you can choose yourself when you're studying. And I was using the Coursera app a lot. For example, I was watching the videos, because like Sirja was explaining, the program, it's there, you have teachers there, but they have recorded the videos. So I was watching them on my way to work when I'm sitting 30 minutes to work and back home. So that was already 1 hour. And it's nice that you can always go back because they are recorded videos. If you, for example, if there was something a little bit too difficult, you didn't really understand it, then you can just go back and watch the video again. There's also a script, you can read it. So I'm a big fan of the mobile app. You can also do the quizzes. They're like after every, in every course, there are a certain amount of modules or topics, and then there are like these quizzes every now and then. And there's quite many of them, which is actually good because it, of course, the Coursera program checks that you've learned, but it's also good for you because you can like follow how you've learned. I mean, if you go past a quiz, then you're like, yay, I know something, I've learned. And if not, you can always take the quiz or test 3 times, and then you have to wait a certain time. For example, is it 24 hours? Or 48 hours? I don't remember anymore, because I think it happened at least once that I didn't pass, and then I just went back again to some videos and readings, and then I did the test again. But you can do it many times. And then in the end, the easy part, as you progressed in the program and you learned, and that was at least like increasing my motivation that, hey, I have learned already so many new things. And like, if you are really motivated, you can achieve anything, basically. So, and then big motivation was the webinars. The guest speakers, they were really like motivating, because you got so many useful tips on how to learn, and the career day, which was like, now I'm quite sure what I'm going to do next because of the career day. And then the groups we were divided in, it was actually really nice to meet. We had like these Zoom meetings with each other, because we're placed all over Finland. You got motivation from your fellow learners, and yeah, we did some homework, or well, almost like the homeworks that we got from the webinars, so not the actual program quizzes, but those like guest webinars we did like together, which was really fun. And yeah, maybe we can go to the next slide. So what I learned from this program is a really like broad understanding of IT infrastructure and the IT field in general. I mean, this course it's not like only a small part of this information technology. It was really broad, but it didn't matter. You don't need to know everything. It gave me really good, like not even basic knowledge, but like a really broad knowledge of IT. And I was actually launching my friend's company's website at the same time, and this program did help me to understand some kind of like what's beneath the hood things, in a way, of everything. So it was a good timing that I decided to launch the website, or she decided to launch the website at the same time. I learned to work with the command line interface, that black or blue screen, and then you type some small coding there. It was extremely fun, and I really enjoyed it. And you can even do it on your home computer to try and test it out. And you learn it. They have like these test environments where you are like working as on an actual computer. It's not your computer, it's a virtual computer. So you really do all those things. And that was fun, and it felt like like I was already a professional. So you get to work on Windows and Linux. And then I learned a lot of cybersecurity, which is really, really interesting. And that could be, I don't know, something also maybe to study next. But there's only 24 hours in a day, so I have to stick and choose only on one thing. And this cybersecurity part also actually helped me to understand when I was doing my friend's company's website, to understand like all the threats and why some things are done in a certain way. So yeah. And I mean, you can maybe put the next slide already. The only like requirement is, of course, yes, you need to get into this program. You need to know English, because absolutely everything is in English. Also, the webinars are in English, and you speak English with your fellow mates because they are like so mixed together. And just like staying motivated, that's the only like biggest maybe advice anyone could give, because motivation really like gets you to the place where you want to. And I got as I said already earlier, I received my certificate, but after every course, there are 6 or 7 courses or 5. Okay, now I already forgot. But anyway, after every course, you get already like this small certificate about that certain topic, and you can share them on LinkedIn. And when I did that, I could see already from LinkedIn that I got already like I was showing up in searches. It was like really fun to see. So it's actually very, very useful. And well, next up, I decided that I want to continue studying. So, and I am 100% sure that this knowledge that I already received from this program is like, it's even more than enough, like basic for anything else, because you learned so many new things here. And then I have my last slide. So if you want still after this webinar, if you don't want to ask any questions here, you can contact me via LinkedIn, and I will, or just like connect with me if we are like like-minded. I think connecting, I've received so many new really good contacts through LinkedIn, in actually even in Mothers in Business, other webinars, and from this program. So it's always good to have like-minded connections. I think I hopefully remembered to say everything I wanted to present, but perhaps Hande, is it time for questions or?
Yes, I would just like to add that Benita is also a member of Mothers in Business. So could people also ask about Mothers in Business to you? How is it to be a member? And also to me and Sylvia, you can always contact us.
Yes, and I actually already took some other Mothers in Business webinars, for example, how to efficiently use LinkedIn and so on. I recommend them.
Yes, thank you. So I already see that I think there are some questions, but so I just want to remind everyone before we go to Q&A that you can check Mothers in Business's website, the Facebook group, and then also the international branch has its own Facebook page. You can check, and our Instagram page. And from our website, you can check how to become a member or a volunteer. You don't have to be a member to be a volunteer. And you can check when is the next volunteer onboarding session or the next events if you're interested. So we could have Q&A, but I was thinking that maybe I can just briefly show the website. So when you go to smartworkacademy.com, here you can see the programs, and then the next one is Work in Tech Finland Autumn 23. So when you click that, then you can apply through this page. So we can start with the questions in the chat. I think I have to stop sharing to be able to see the questions. Yeah. Okay. There's one question here. Siria, do you want to read the questions?
I have actually kept an eye on the questions. So is it okay? Maybe we start with those two that are there, and
Yeah.
while I answer, if there are new questions or people raise hand, of course we will then take those. But because my answer to the internship question, and there were two about internship, is a bit longer than perhaps Benita, there was one clarifying question to your presentation. One participant is asking, did I understood correctly that you managed the course within 2 months?
Yes, I did, and I'm actually myself really surprised about it. But this is, I mean, that's why I talked about the motivation so much, because I was super motivated. I really wanted to do it. And at some point I already knew that I want to study something more. So like I don't want to burn out myself. I don't want to study many things at the same time. So that was also maybe one motivation. But I mean, it's doable. It really is doable. And like I said, not all the topics are like super technical or difficult. Some parts I already knew just because of my marketing work. So and well, because I already had like some kind of knowledge, because I'm a person who finds out things, but like it's doable. And I was not the first one to graduate. There was someone else who was even faster than me. And of course, if you are doing this full time, if you're studying full time, then you will get the certificate faster. But yes, I am really surprised I did it in like a little bit more than 2 months, 2.5 months. So those.
Yeah, but you also said that you were using basically every opportunity,
Yes.
driving to or going to work and so forth. So that was very clever way. So I think that many people are not even aware of how much time they have if they will actually make the time,
Exactly.
to kind of become aware of that you can use that time for studying, for example.
Exactly, because I was sitting in a metro for 30 minutes one way and 30 minutes back. That's already 1 hour. And I would otherwise just be sitting there. So of course I had my earphones on and I was watching the videos or doing the quizzes, because some parts you can do without like a desktop. So.
Yeah, but I can also say that some learners have tried to, for example, cook and listen to the videos at the same time, and they've said that it doesn't work.
No,
so you have to focus.
No.
So there are certain things that you can do at the same time.
No, but if you have an opportunity to like sit down and just concentrate on it, like in a metro, then it works.
There's one more question targeted or direct to you. So what course or continued learning are you doing now?
Well, I have to decide now. Well, have to, but I will decide. I'm always been interested in data analytics, but then we had this career day and there were like so inspirational speakers. They were talking about their work, which was user experience, and somehow that just hit me. And maybe like my career in marketing and sales could also be really helpful in that, also in data analytics, because I am working with data a lot and analyzing it. But yeah, so I will choose in one of them. I got this opportunity to continue to study. I'm not quitting my job still yet. I am still doing it on like a part-time, but yeah, I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, we are not even saying to people that you don't necessarily need to quit your current field, or, I think that when people think about a job in IT, they immediately think about just an IT company or telco companies, but actually you can use those IT skills in every field.
Yes.
You can be in manufacturing, you can be in, I don't know, even healthcare, whatever. IT is everywhere these days, and it will be up to you to just figure out what to do, and we will help you to connect those dots and to realize that, oh, this could be my future career. And of course there will be a trial and error, something that you will figure out during this program. It still might change, when you start continuing learning or doing an internship, but this is, you know, the progress. But what's most important is that you start from somewhere.
I can see somebody asked if the additional webinars are they in the evenings. So they were on the weekends during daytime.
Saturday mornings 10 till 12:30.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have chosen weekends because it allows those who are working, but also those who have kids, perhaps to ask somebody to, you know, have a look at them for these 2 or 3 hours. And we also try to keep the webinar short. So the most emphasis is on your studies on the Coursera, but it can become very lonely if you would be there for 2 months, for example, without any contact with your fellow learners. So that's also one of the ideas behind the webinars, not only to give you the additional tools, but also to help you to keep the motivation, because when you're there, you know, you have the shoulder-to-shoulder, virtual shoulder-to-shoulder feeling with your peers. You see somebody, you know, maybe you get one new hack or trick, which also motivates you to continue. So that's also why we suggest, and I'm very happy that Benita also brought out, we suggest to take part of the webinars. We have always seen that those who take part of most of the webinars, maybe skipping one because, you know, you are traveling or something, they progress faster in their studies, and they also found an internship or career or further studies options quicker. So basically, you know, it helps you in processing and synthesizing and analyzing, you know, what could be the next steps to do.
Somebody was saying, if you're a single mom and you don't have anyone to babysit. Well, I did take some webinars with my kids, or actually only one, the youngest one, and it's doable, but it's not really efficient. And maybe like try not to, but if you don't have any other possibility and you really are motivated and like think you can still learn something and listen, mostly you need to listen. So
yeah, of course, our first preference is that you come to the webinar so that you can focus, because we also know that multitasking is very exhausting. So for your sake, also so that you can, you know, take in the information, analyze it, maybe ask something when there's a moment. But if you cannot, then it's also fine if you come and you don't put your, for example, camera on, but you just listen while taking care of your babies. And that's also fine. You know, sometimes we give those webinars by having our children running around behind us. So we're all women, we all understand. So whatever works for you, as long as you are motivated, it works for you, it is all fine. Also, I wanted to touch upon the internship question, and I see that there are many other questions also coming. So I hope I will not fall off the wagon, but if I miss to answer any of your questions, then please just shout. But the internship is something that is very much, can be very scary if you enter the program. Even before that, there are always a lot of questions about the internship. So how will I find it and so forth? And, you know, the reason is also because you don't have really at the moment, perhaps the best awareness or, you know, overview of what are the different opportunities and jobs and roles in the IT. So the first thing that we will do is to help you to become more aware of what are the different possibilities. So first of all, already when you start the IT support specialization, as Benita said, it's very broad. It gives you an understanding of the whole IT infrastructure. Then already during that, you might become aware that some people have actually figured out that, oh, you know, I'm a very hardware-oriented person. I would like to do something regards that. Or, oh, cybersecurity is such a fascinating topic. I would like to continue an internship or further studies in IT, in cybersecurity. So already during that, you might, become more aware and knowledgeable of what are your options. Then what else we do is that we organize meetings with professionals. So in the spring, we had this career day. So it was a long day on this Saturday from 10 to 5. Every hour we had a professional, coming in from an IT job, explaining what is she doing, how did she ended up in IT, what is she doing on a daily basis, what are her responsibilities, and so forth, so forth. So that also helps a lot. Then we will also post in Slack opportunities about internship opportunities, further learning opportunities, and we also our learners are very active to start, sharing these opportunities. So it's not only me, but you yourself will create this community, and the community starts to share this information to each other. And we will also give you the tools. So the spring cohort hasn't had it yet, but in the autumn, we will have different webinars of how to use LinkedIn, first of all, for your career progress, how to build a strong LinkedIn profile, how to build a strong CV, motivation letter, and so forth, so forth. So we do all these things, but also be aware that you have to be active yourself. So while you are in this program, we also expect you to be curious, to maybe go to other events that other organizations are organizing, like Mothers in Business or Horizon or MiB Career. So, we will give you an overview about different organizations, different opportunities. If you check Event Tribe, there are many, many different webinars. We expect you to read a lot, talk to people that you know from IT, talk to your peers, because your fellow learners in your group might have discovered something that you didn't know. So just being curious also, because there are some things that we can do, but there are certain things that you definitely need to do that we cannot do for yourself. So it's a combination of these things. And so on top of these things, I am also available for an individual mentoring. So in this spring, I actually wrote to everyone individually, asking how they're doing. They shared how they're doing. I gave them a lot of tips and advice of how to go forward. So there's also this individual mentoring that, so I'm at your disposal, basically. And we have an active alumni community. So as I said, in autumn, I will be inviting our alumni to share their experience after they have entered the IT and share about, their work and how they're doing currently. So Benita will also have, and you will all have, an opportunity to take part of this joint webinar. So they will be intended to both spring and autumn cohort. So everybody who's interested, because it's hard, to provide everyone the support at that particular time when they need. Most of the learners will start looking for internship in the autumn from the spring cohort. But for example, Benita was so fast that she would need those webinars already now, perhaps. But, it will be hard to organize it considering each and every person's speed. So we have kind of figured out an average speed that people go through the program, and we will cater them based on this average speed. Okay, I hope that I have answered to this question.
Sirja, there's quite a lot of questions, but so the next one I see is it's about the Finnish language. Do you see the question as well?
Yeah, so now scrolling.
Thank you for sharing. Would you like to know if not knowing Finnish? I would like to know if not knowing Finnish language. So maybe
No. Yeah, we had just on the Saturday we had we had actually from 7 or presenters, all 6 or 5 were international women who had moved to Finland, studied a little bit of IT, and started working in the IT sphere in Finland. And all these 5 organizations where they worked had inner working language English. So these are just these 5 organizations, but there are actually many, many in Finland where you can work without having the Finnish language. It will be a bit of a, it would require more work from you to find those organizations. But as I said, we also will try to create that type of awareness of which type of organizations to look and so forth. Maybe you can also add to that because you organize all these company visits. So
Yes, it's a nice idea. We have a hands up question from Hop, and then I think we can continue quickly to the written questions.
Yeah, thank you, both of you, Benita and Siria, for your presentations. I'm actually 8 months pregnant and I'm due at the end of August and it's my first. So I'm a little bit, well, I'm quite interested in the application and the time frame you said to finish it in 5 months. I'm wondering, maybe this is a question for all moms here, like how reasonable do you think it is to finish or to sign up to something new just when I'm about to have a baby? Because I am very interested. I'm a social worker, licensed social worker in Finland, and I work for an NGO as a project manager doing lots of different things. I think that's the name there, Nearly Without Borders, that you see. But I am not finding a lot of consistent job opportunities in my field. I do speak like intermediate Finnish, and I would like to maybe change my career. I just don't know if it's like ideal time.
I can actually answer to that. Firstly, congratulations on becoming a mother for the first time. If I could now go a little bit back in time, I would start studying already when I was, or I would have applied for this program when I was home with the baby, because you have, like, you're sitting on the couch and breastfeeding or otherwise feeding or the napping times. I think it's totally doable. Of course, maybe you don't know yet how much sleep you're gonna get or so, but I mean, I would totally recommend just go for it. I mean, you don't really lose anything.
yes.
So, because
I would say the same.
Yeah,
You can already start in August. So if you are active, you can do a lot of your studies up front, if you're already, for example, past 2 models, then basically you already have the rhythm of how to study. But I also want to share that I implemented the program Working Tech for the first time in Estonia when I had a newborn, and he was sleeping only with 2-hour stretches. Every second hour, after 120 minutes, he was awake. And it was actually quite a lot of work, and responsibility. We took 100 learners and we were like, okay, we need to support them. Are there organizations? Are they really interested in our learners? But I think that if you just kind of take the same advice that Benita said, there's nothing to lose, okay, maybe it doesn't work for you. You can quit, but maybe it works, so just try.
Thank you, both of you. This is just a little bit of a follow-up question, which I think someone else has written in the chat as well, about continuing education and other courses. Are those somehow still provided by like Smart Work Academy or Mothers in Business, or are those something that you pay for separately if you want to continue?
Okay, so there are actually a lot of opportunity to study free, even outside our program. So you don't necessarily need to pay for the additional studies. We can provide 50 learners in our programs additional specialization opportunities, but the trick there is that these are also big courses, about 150 hours of studying. So in order to finish IT support and additional specialization, you would need to study about 10 to 15 hours a week, which is also doable. But it might be that some learners from the autumn cohort just do not have the opportunity to take the additional specialization because, they just do not have enough time to finish the additional cert, because all the licenses will expire at the end of this year and we cannot do anything about it. So basically, you will get this time, and it will be up to you how you use this time. If you are fast, you will finish the IT support in 2 months. Then you can most probably at least go through the majority of the additional specialization that we can give. But it is entirely up to you.
Okay, thank
I don't want to give you or raise your expectations too high, but I also want to say that if you don't get that opportunity from our side, don't worry. We have never had an issue that somebody wants to learn and doesn't find a good opportunity or fit. There are plenty out there.
Thanks for your question, Hope. We have limited time and a lot of questions. So if it's okay, Syria, maybe I read you the questions.
Yes.
So someone is asking, are there any participants or graduate coming from the field of education? Are there any testimonials you could share?
I don't have any testimonials at this particular point, but during those 2 years, we have had people coming from the education and either went working in the IT or continued in the education field by combining those IT skills.
Thank you. The next question, when are the additional webinars about soft skills? Are they in the evening, since someone who works can also join the course?
They are Saturdays from 10 to 12:30, usually every third week.
Okay. Then how easy was it for participants to find an internship? This is a question you kind of answered. And does it have to be with a Finnish company, or is it possible to maybe do it with a company abroad?
Yeah, I actually forgot to mention that regards the language question. It's also connected to that. Yes, with IT skills, it's possible quite easily to apply to companies who are even not in Finland. So
Great. And then is it possible to do the internships remotely?
yes, there are many companies. I would say that in the IT or technology-led organizations, remote work or flexible ways of working is now a hygiene factor. So maybe in some organizations, they would expect you to come to the office 1 or 2 weeks. It depends on their policies. Also, if you're a newcomer, they might want you to be there for the first month or first weeks when they are training you. But we have never had an issue that somebody wants to find a flexible, working opportunity and hasn't found it from IT.
Yes, and this next question, I think you kind of answered also, but if one chooses further studies, for example, in cybersecurity testing, are these courses available through Smart Work Academy, or one has to find the course by themselves, like in case of internships?
Yeah, one has to find by themselves, but we provide quite a lot of guidance. And even if you already go today to our website and click the additional learning options, you will see that we have gathered about 50 different links, with free courses or with courses which have very reasonable prices. And this is just what we have found. So if you Google and you look, you will find many more.
Okay, then we have a very long question from Miriam, 4 questions in total. Are there 2 certificates, one from Coursera, and if you make an internship, you get another one? So is an
Yes.
internship now mandatory or not?
Internship is mandatory, but you can replace it with additional studies.
Okay, you can replace it, yeah. What if people who are in the course notice that it's not for them? What then?
We make a contract with the learners by where you state that you're motivated, and if you fulfill all the course requirements, the course is for free. We will give you 30 days of time to withdraw, and if you withdraw or quit later, we have the right to ask from you a fine, but we have never done that. So this is just, it's not that we want to be the police officers, collecting fines, but it's more of to act discipline, so that you would really think about it, to kind of really commit. But even if you don't know that, you don't know if you like it, you have time to say that, look, it's not for me, and it's also a learning. So that's also fine.
Yes. And then the third question from Miriam. I'm also a mother of 2 young kids and I'm a single mom. Is it only now special occasion that a friend looks after them? Meanwhile, this meeting. Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, I have them 24/7 unless they're in kindergarten. It says on the website that the webinars are on the weekend. Is that right? And I think you already talked about this, how
Yes.
to study as a single mom. But was it so that the webinars are on the weekend?
Yes, webinars
Yeah.
are on the weekends. Sometimes we have the inspirational meetings with the professionals during the work days in the evening, because some people who work, they just do not want to invest their times over weekend to
Yes.
come to meet us. But usually we record these meetings then, and you can have an opportunity to check the recording later.
This is something about the fourth question is about the now Syria is from Estonia, so I need to explain this. TE office is like when
I
you're
know.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So does the TE office do they need to know about this if you are taking this course? Do you need to let them know? But maybe it's a very technical question that Syria might not know the answer. I mean,
The
and
thing is that I know the system that much that you can either be an unemployed person who gets some benefits or, some support, or if you become a student, you would get different type of support. But being a student means that you go to a full-time studies. Our course is not a full-time course.
I suggest to contact TE directly about this.
Yes, maybe perhaps, talk with your consultant.
So someone is asking, since the next onboarding starts in August, can I register for it at this moment?
Yes, you can register already now. We have the application open on the website. Just go to our website and press apply, provide all the necessary information, and we will read through all the applications in the end of July and let you know in the beginning of August whether you receive the spot in the course. But as I said, if you are motivated, if you can exhibit your motivation and you're fit with the program, then most probably you will get that spot. We have the flexibility, in the accepting in the amount of how many people we accept.
Okay. Thank you. I just saw a comment about mothers in business. You don't need to be a mother to join our events. It's open to anyone, especially company visits. When we plan company visits, also the men, they are welcome to join. So we are open to anyone. Then someone is asking about when the next course is starting. So it's in August.
Yeah, we will give you the study rights and everything in the beginning of August. We will have the kickoff seminar. I cannot give you exact dates, but you can accept an answer from us, whether you're accepted or not, in the beginning of August, hopefully first week. And in that letter, we will tell you about, the kick start meeting times and so forth, so forth. Yeah.
But the registration time ends 23 of July, so they need to register before this.
Yes, please apply before that time. We are not accepting late admissions or registrations.
Yes. So someone is asking how much the fee if you withdraw. I guess they mean after 30 days.
Yes. I mean, okay, we have written something about 350 euros. Well, okay, just to explain to get that opportunity to provide you free courses, we have got the financing from Google, but Google also expects us to show that a certain number of people have graduated. And if we are at risk that many people withdraw and people do not finish, we have already paid to the lecturers. So this is just to safeguard our situation, that we wouldn't be those who have to pay from our pockets. but it has never happened before, and I don't even think that we would ever come to this position. So I really hope so. So as I said, our role is not to be, people who make fines, but just for you to consider really seriously before you really take that responsibility and commitment, whether you can really do it. Just analyze a bit about your timely resources and so forth. But, we have always come to some solution with those people who have to quit later. And sometimes we have even found some solutions to support them so that they don't need to quit. So it's always very individual, and I wouldn't be much worried about this.
And I think the fact that this is free of charges it's really amazing opportunity.
Yes, if you look at Coursera, you would have to pay approximately $35 a month if you would take the same course. So,
Yeah, yes. There's one more question. I'm working full-time now. Is it doable with internships as well? So I guess they mean like if they are working full-time, can you also do an internship after the courses?
It depends on you. Some people have done it during their vacation. For example, sometimes you can find a part-time internship opportunity or even do internship in your own organization by asking, like, for example, can you do one day at an IT department, do something there? So just, be creative about it. And if you cannot attend internship at this particular moment or within that year, as I said, you can also replace that with additional studies.
And then they can do the internship when they have time, actually.
Exactly,
Yeah.
when you are ready.
When is the time when they finish the courses? What is the time interval they have to do an internship after they finish the courses?
Well, they can do the internship anytime, even next year, but I would like to know, or I need to know actually by the end of this year, what are your plans? Are you doing an internship? If yes, then where? And if not, then what are you taking as an additional course? But remember, I will not come there next year sitting next to you and controlling whether you have actually gone through this additional course that you've chosen. So it's very much, we are grown-ups. This program is for you. So it's up to you to make those decisions and make those commitments. And, if you find out that the additional program that you chose or course was not interesting, change it to something else. We just want to kind of give you the launch pad to the IT so that you can progress later on and make decisions on your own if you already have this preliminary knowledge and confidence that you get from our program.
Thank you. We are out of time, but there are two more questions, so I will just ask them. If also someone is a student, like full-time student at a university in Finland, I think they can still do this program. There is no limitations.
Yeah, definitely. No limitations from our side.
And then someone is asking, if I choose to go for additional course instead of internship, do I have to pay for the additional courses?
It depends which course you take. It's up to you.
Okay, but there are free courses as well. You mentioned there are many
free courses. Yeah, I can even put already the link here that we have on our website, and from there you already see. Even Coursera. At Coursera, you have an opportunity to apply for a scholarship, which means that you can study free in Coursera. They require you writing some application and explaining why you need it. And we have had learners from previous year who have got those scholarships. So first of all, just try to come to the program, take it easy, learn, come to the webinars, be curious, and all these things will be sorted out when the time comes. Don't worry about this yet.
Well, I would like to thank Sirja and Benita. This was great, and it was a pleasure to organize this seminar with you, this webinar with you, and also Silvia as my co-host. Thank you, and everyone who has attended. Thanks for showing interest. And you can contact Sirja through the smartworkacademy.com if you have any other questions, and you can visit Mothers in Businesses webpage if you're interested in the coming events. So I will stop the recording. I hope no one has anything against us having this recorded video on the Mothers in Business YouTube channel. But if you do, let me know. Send me email. and well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Hande, for hosting.